Well, I want Jesus to walk with me. I want Jesus to walk with me while I'm on this Jesus journey. I want Jesus to walk with me. Hold my hand, Lord. Lord, hold my hand. Hold my hand, Lord. Lord, hold my hand while I'm on this Jesus journey. I want Jesus to walk with me. May her soul rest in peace. To God be all the glory. Good morning to all of you that might be coming into the chat this morning. I'd hate reporting stories like this. I really, really do. This is not something I look forward to every day. Waking up and having to report another young person, young woman, or young man mysteriously gone unalive. And I could imagine what right now loved ones may be going through. That death angel has visited their family. You know, this is a mysterious death. Nobody knows who's done this in Mississippi and happened again in Mississippi anyway. And it's just really starting to really look very suspicious. I wouldn't say frightening because I'm not afraid because, frightening, whatever, because I don't live in the South and never really I don't know much about Mississippi. I never been to Mississippi in my life, but I know the stories behind Mississippi about the southern trees and Mississippi burning, the clans and the evil and all that stuff against people just because of the color of someone's skin or maybe just out of just plain jealousy, evil jealousy. Jealousy creeps in the heart of people and people get jealous of certain types of people or maybe the fear or whatever it might be. But let's go into our Father's prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Lord, give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our trespasses. We forgive those who trespass against us. Lord, lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thou you are the kingdom, the power, and all the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Now, like what I was saying, I never lived in Mississippi. I really never lived. I know people that's family from Mississippi. I grew up around people from Mississippi, families that came from the South, and they poured that into their children when I was coming up. Um, but most people, I dated a guy who was family from Mississippi and everything. His family was from South Carolina. I mean, my family from South Carolina. It goes on there too, I'm pretty sure, but not as much as in Mississippi. I don't know. Something about Mississippi's water, something about the air, something about the culture, whatever it is, that these reoccurring lynchings, these reoccurring incidents, you know, it's just don't make no sense. There's no other way but to look at it as racism or some kind of supremacy behind this, some kind of supremacy behind white supremacy behind all of this. Because of all things going on in the world right now, why do we want to get back into this again? America got so much more shit to worry about. Excuse my language, but America got a lot to worry about now. You got people undocumented living in your country. You can't go on and live those people. But you got to go and mess with black folks, right? Just take black folks out of here. Off the face of it, we don't know. Well, it makes us think that way. Just put it that way. And I'm just so sick and tired of those white people that get on social media, and every time you have a discussion about stuff like this, the first thing they want to do is just like, oh, they always want to find an excuse to have a reason to harm people, especially black people. I wouldn't say anybody else but black people. And I was very disgusted about Megan Kelly. She actually made a video with Jack Lang. And I saw it on TikTok last night. And I was like, what? And I mean, not TikTok, YouTube. And I said, she was reporting this on her platform that Jake Lang was in it was, we all know Jake Lang don't get no sympathy from me. Them Muslims should have whipped the living shit daylights out of him. I wouldn't even cared it because of the shit that Jake Lang goes around and do. And Megan Kelly is support of that, talking about how Jake Lang was beaten by these mobs of Muslims in Dearborn, Michigan, and he had a sign up and he's only out there to protest peacefully. No, he's not. He's a provocative. Okay, he's a provocative, and he's a person that likes to get people riled up with hate. Okay, nothing about Jake Lane speaks love to me or any kind of peace. Okay, so Megan Kelly need to stop the bullshit. Don't get on your platform and try to paint this man Jake Lane as a goddamn Jake Leg or Lake or whatever the fuck his name is. Okay, don't sit down and paint that white man, that crazy white man, as some kind of saint, or he's somebody that's out here not bothering people. He be over there in Dearborn messing with them people all the time, and making fun about their food and pigs out there, and he be having his mob of white supremacists with him out there sitting in their cars or whatever, trying to not to act like they ain't part of it, but they are part of it because that man is dangerous. He's dangerous. So let's keep it real. People like Jake Lane should not be getting attention when it comes to any kind of harmful whatever act comes to him, because he brought that on himself. Okay? So don't try to make the Muslims look like the bad guy, Megan, and make Jake Lang look like the good person. Look, I use good fair judgment. Okay, everybody? I'm not a Muslim, and no, I don't agree with them coming to the United States, carrying on the way they've been carrying on, and the United States allowing these people into their politics and playing hypocrites. Okay? You shouldn't never allow these people in our politics. You shouldn't never allow these people in our government. After what happened on 9/11, that should have made you consider not doing that, because you don't want to take any risk of anything happening that you will be held accountable for it, because you knew before it ahead of time not to put these people in any power in America. What the hell? What the hell? You reap what you sow. I just pray whenever that time comes, when they doing whatever kind of damage they doing to anybody, pass me by. Okay? Pass me the freak by. How that song go? Gentle Savior, pass me by. Hear my humble cry. While all others calling, do not pass me by, but pass me by in this Muslim shit. Because America should have knew better than to put people like that in our government. They should have known better. I don't care if they would have called me a racist. I don't care what they would have said. I know I'm doing the right thing in my heart. And now all the shit going on in New York City with this mayor, Zaran Madani. America, she's still young, though. We are still a very young nation, and we're supposed to uphold Christian values. And the Christian values, I guess America didn't want to, use any kind of conduct of misjudgment. But me, I would have been like, no. I know I would have been like, no. Mm-mm. You know why? Because I will never forget 9/11. Never. And that would have just been the way it is. And so should a whole lot of other people. And they thought they were getting past these people. They will play like they like you. They come in here already dressed, protesting their religion. Right there at the front door, I would have said you can't wear that in the United States of America, all throughout the day. You cannot wear that to work, and you cannot wear that to institutions like schools or wherever else is not allowed. But if you want to wear it in your private time, or you want to wear it during your, days off from work, and you out on your outerwear or whatever, during the weekends and whatever, when you after work or whatever, or after school or whatever, that's fine. But not to be always having to wear a certain kind of way of dressing, and you in a nation that is Christian. And I guess they protest that because they feel that they are going to be running the country, they're going to run the world, and people out here got these fear tactics telling people that. But I ain't trying to be no Muslim or bow down to no Sharia law. So y'all can forget that. Don't put everybody in this shit. Okay? Don't. Don't put everybody in it, because I know I didn't ask for this. Okay? And God knows I didn't ask for it. So whoever asked for it, those are the ones who better be afraid, and very afraid. Just like you vote for somebody and you said, well, I voted for the policy. Well, I did. I voted for the policy. I didn't vote for nobody's personality. Okay? I didn't vote for nobody's personality. I voted for the policy. So let's get that together. And Democrat platform wasn't running on nothing that I can touch and agree on. That's why I was not going that route. And that's how people should think. And not because of the color of someone's skin, but due to their policy. Due to the policy, and what kind of relationship you feel you have with the person that you feel you can really trust them with your vote. See, with Donald Trump, also, I had a relationship, not a physical, like me and Donald Trump actually got to know each other. Like, we shook hands and we spoke and we talked, and we went out and had drinks and dinner and all that stuff. No, no, no. The relationship I had with Donald Trump is the relationship I had with my life coming up in the business world, in corporate banking. So while I was in that field of that field, and during my tenure of my career, um, a lot of things like would discuss at work, some of my colleagues and I would, always have looking at the stock market, looking at, things of that nature, because that's what we did. And Donald Trump name was always mentioned in articles and Fortune magazines, whatever, join. So I had a relationship knowing him. Okay, that's what I'm saying. I was familiar with Donald Trump before he became president. So I could have felt like I could trust Donald Trump, even though I'm black and I'm a woman, that I can still trust, because I already had some understanding and some knowledge about Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? I had some some history about Donald Trump, and I know this stuff for myself from being close in that walk of life in the business world. And plus, us both of us were born in New York, me and Donald Trump. Donald Trump born in Queens. He from Queens. I was born in Brooklyn. you know, he's from Queens and I'm from Brooklyn. Okay, he has that New York attitude, that New York persona, you would say. He has a lot of spirit about. It's not nothing to do with his color, his race, or anything. It just has to do with how we connect in that place in our, you know, our worlds. And him being my president of the United States. Yes, I don't agree with everything Donald Trump does. I don't agree with everything Donald Trump says a lot of times, but I do feel that I made the right conscious decision when I did choose him to be my president. Okay? And that's the most important thing, is what I feel, not what everybody else feel, but me. Is my own personal way I feel. And that's my personal relationship with my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. To have that kind of heart. But with Muslims, I don't know. It'll take me a while before I can really, and I'm not saying all of them. And I know some people that's in the faith, like I pointed out to y'all yesterday that Ilan Omar, she wants to protest her religion all the time. She wants to wear her turban to work. She wants to wear her turban all day, every day. And she has no medical condition going on or whatever that she shouldn't have to wear her turban. What's her name? She sits there. One of the ladies that sit, what is her name? The black lady that sits on in Congress and wears the baldy. She wears her baldy and she wears it well, but it looks professional. That's the whole thing because some women have alopecia. They have alopecia. It develops after a while, and they get tired of their hair breaking, having breakage in certain places. They don't like to wear wigs. They don't like weaves, and they don't like hair braiding. They like to wear their natural own hair out all the time. So to avoid the discomfort and the things that you might be feeling uncomfortable about with your hair, some people will shave it off, and as long as it can look good on you. And some people suffering with sickness, they got cancer, so they have to go through chemotherapy. So it kind of like take their hair out, but they not wearing no wig on. I mean, no turban on their head, and she always. I think she wears it well. Anyway, I do. I think not everybody can wear a baldy and be a female and wear a baldy. But if that's what you got to do because of certain kind of health conditions, and it happens, people have medical conditions and their hair breaks off like mine's. Mine's break off all the time. It breaks off, it gets dry, maybe because I don't care for it like I should, but I'm getting older now. So for me, I know a lot of older people are into beauty care and all that stuff. I'm into it to a certain extent. I don't go overboard with it. I'm not too obsessed with applying makeup on my face every day and wearing lashes and have to have my hair done a certain way every day. I'm not into all of that. You know, I'm into just trying to get out the the message when I come out here. I'm just really into just trying to push the message, to give people the message, and also to help somebody that might not know what's going on in biblical terms, because this is a spiritual warfare. And that's why it's so important that we do use the Bible to help us through. That's why it's important to read the Bible to help us through, because nobody can do it for you but Jesus. And the thing is you got to get to know him. You got to build a relationship with him, and he will start showing you who he is. He will show you things, and you will be able to identify with it because Christ already told you. He already gave you that story. He already told you ahead of the time how some people gonna come, sheep's and wolves clothing. He gave you things to identify with and everything. But if you don't read that Bible, you're gonna get lost out here. You start listening to people that sound real religious and sound like they could really, really preach you to heaven. But you gotta read that Bible for yourself. Because those people could sound so good and take you right to hell. And just be out there just hustling you with your soul. So you got to really know how to guard and protect yourself out here. And your heart is where life flows from, and that's where you got to protect the most. You can't give your heart to everybody out here because everybody ain't good enough for you. Everybody don't deserve your compassion and your love and your you could say, just gotta leave those kind of people alone. Just gotta leave them alone, and just go. Don't wish nobody no harm or wish them well, but just keep it moving. And that's the way, and that's just how I feel. But anyway, another young lady found dead in Mississippi, and it gives us no other reason but to think that this has something to do with some kind of white racist supremacist group, that took this woman and raised up on a tree and had her hanging for a couple of days, where she was found a couple of days later. She was hung on the third, they say, but they didn't find her body until like the sixth or something like that. But let's read what the article has here for us. Let's read it all together. And it says, local officials are seeking answers in the death of a black woman found hanging from a tree behind a vacant house in Jackson, Mississippi, earlier this week as her family demands justice. Tasia Fortune, 29, was identified by the Hines County Coroner's Office as the woman found dead on Monday at around 9 p.m. Multiple local news outlets. It says the investigation into the death is ongoing and her body has been sent to the state medical examiner's office for an autopsy. Fortune's sister Latonia Fortune told Mississippi Today she had last seen her sibling on July when the 29-year-old was visiting family in Kentucky. Ooh. Prior to Fortune being identified, Ward 3 Jackson City Councilman Kenneth Stokes told local news station WAPT his office had reached out to U.S. Attorney Baxter Kruger's office on Wednesday, pleading for assistance in the case. We are in dire need of the assistance of the U.S. Attorney's Office with the death of an unidentified female discovered hanging in the backyard of an abandoned house on the road of Remembrance in Jackson, Mississippi, the councilman's letter stated. Though authorities have not confirmed foul play in the case, Stokes' letter referred to Fortune's death as a murder. Of course, she didn't hang herself and put herself all the way up in the tree like that. Oh, well, then again, you never know. Then again, you never know. That's not raw, but I'm just feeling that way because we still dealing with Nolan Wells. We still dealing with the fact of the baby. That baby was shot in Alabama, but the other boy, Troy Reed or something like that, his name is, in Mississippi at Delta State University, he was found hanging also on a tree. Okay, and his case is still probably still open. So and I don't know if that was was it Jackson? Let's find out. Let's find out where Troy Reed. No, I'm gonna find out what part of Mississippi. I believe he was in Jackson. No, this ain't him. What is his name? Tyree or Trey Reed? I know it's something like Tyrese Trey Reed or whatever. You know what, y'all? This is what I'm gonna do. I know how to do it. I know just how to do it. Okay, because I already posted it. What his name was. I already posted the young man's name that I'm looking. I know it's Tyrese or Tyree Reed, and he was in Mississippi. Here he is. It's Troy Reed. I don't know why I kept saying Tyree. This young man here, Troy Reed in Delta State, and this happened in Mississippi. Mississippi lynching. The young man brought to my far left, that's Troy Reed. So now I gotta add Tasia face to the names and the places that people we gotta call on their names or whatever. This is sad. This is really sad. But America needs to get it together because 250 years America and we have ended this stuff. Ended. That's why I say laws got to be put in place, and that's my platform for now. It's all about laws being put in place for protection for Black lives, and I think it's time people would start taking it serious and stop. Don't wait on it, and then on top of that, the part I don't truly understand where I'm going. Let me go back to what I don't understand. Okay, I want to talk about this too, but what I don't what I don't understand is that America right now, the last thing any white person should be doing, unless some white person, somebody else is doing it, but right now it falls on white people, white supremacist groups, because of the fact that it had a history here, and we can't see nobody else doing it to us but white people, even though it could be maybe somebody else doing it, but right now it's just hard to believe that, especially the way these investigations has been taking place with these people being mysteriously unalived and still no one being held accountable or arrested or anything, and somebody should know something. And as far as for those boys that did what they did to Nolan Wells, and a name was mentioned named Bart, and I'm gonna say this, whether people know it or not, we don't see the God in the universe. We don't see him, but we know he's here. He's here every day with us. He woke us up this morning. He breathed life into our bodies, and he started us on our way. And we supposed to take every day with his name in our mouth and in our walk and in our talk. Okay? We are always supposed to see him first before we see ourselves. Like what would be the right way to say things, to do things, or whatever. We got to move our flesh out of the way and put the spirit of God in us. And the thing is that we sometimes get too caught up with what's out in the world that we forget about putting God there to protect us and protect our loved ones and our family and everything. And you notice I get on here every day. I say a prayer. I say something, so that I know the word of God is out there in front of me. And the word of God is, while it's out there in front of me, is protecting me and is also protecting someone else. And I'm also helping somebody else. As when I'm saying I'm praying over people, like God is in the universe, so he sees everything. So where I'm going with this is that if Nolan Wells was unalived on that boat with some friends, and some friends was there, the ones who had his phone, left him on the island, Horns Island, that all of that stuff went on. You mean to tell me that all those people out there, but nobody knows anything. Nobody saw anything. Somebody saw something. And then on top of that, the parents know. The parents know because they lawyered up. These boys ain't got no money for lawyers. So the family lawyered up and got them lawyers to protect them from their evil. And I say this, even though you want to protect your child for what they do wrong, God has another plan. If you're going to sit around and cover up evil for your child, God can have that same child that harmed that other person's child harm you. Your own child can turn around and kill you behind that covering up of evil. Always remember, the enemy is always close by. So when you're doing something wicked like that, knowing that your child was involved in a crime and has something to do with it, you should be saying, turn yourself in and we're going to fight this thing and prove your innocence in court. I'm not going to sit up here and cover up for my child because God said, love no child, no mother, no father, no one more than him. I give you these children. The same way God can give it, God can take it away. And the same way you said and let your child still take somebody else's child's life, God can do the same thing to you. Have your own children kill you. It has happened. That spirit, that mother, that son, he came out of jail, whatever this mother did, okay? But this mother always covered up for her badass son. And this happened in April of 2024, I believe, that it was on the Easter. We could go look up the story. It wasn't a happy ending for that mother. The son was known to have harmed or killed maybe one of his ex-wives or whatever, but the mother went real hard to get her son out of jail and to get him free, and that her son was innocent from the murder and all this other stuff. And she known that man did that. She know her son was a piece of shit. Okay, but she still wanted to cover up his evil. She wanted to cover up his evil, and of course, this was a black story. And I'm going to take you to I can take you to the what you call it, so people can, you know, understand these things, how God works. They know they children are guilty, but they still want to cover it up and they want to try to find a way with money and use political influence or whatever they might have in that courthouse or that judge or whoever. And if they take part in the wickedness as well, God gonna deal with them too. Everybody gonna get a portion of God's wrath, or when God have to deal with them, because there's no way you're going to sit there and hold and say, well, my child and everything, it's my child and I have to, no, God never tells us to do stuff like that. And you can't claim being a Christian and you got blood on your hands. You got a boy laying in his grave, his mother crying. Every day she's on social media, people taking it and running with it, talking about it's a money grab. And that woman is grieving. And everybody is different, and nobody has a right to judge her for how she feels about her son right now. In the situation, she trying to keep her head as positive. People attack this woman's job. Did she deserve that? These platforms out here running their mouth. People don't understand things until it happens to them. Like this woman, oh, she was like, it's all about, no. That mother is in pain and she's holding herself together because she got other children to raise in this world. See, people don't see beyond other things. They only just see their flesh. Same way Carmelo Anthony's mother was breaking down. No parent wants to see their children get in trouble like this. No parents send their children out in the world and don't expect them to return back. A parent that loves their children. Everything about that mother of Nolan's mother is a beautiful woman. Her spirit is beautiful. I listen to her sometimes on there and I start breaking down. Sometimes I said, I wish I was God so I can help you out, but I'm not God. Only thing I can do is give you the message, sweetie, and just keep praying with you and for you. And that's when I say, America, where is your faith? God is testing you with your heart. Where's your faith, America? We supposed to be Christians. We have to live that every day of our life. And sometimes make even difficult choices. Even when we have to turn in our own children that commit crimes. You're not helping. Being an enabler, you're not helping. You know your child is a murderer. You're going to end up just like what the Menendez brothers did to their father and mother for the dirty evil that was going on with their dad. It's a whole lot was going on in those boys' lives. And at the end of their parents' life, showed it. They had money. They were a Cuban family with money and everything else like that. They didn't want to be out there and be honest about those boys. Said they father, and I believed them. I'm starting to believe those Menendez brothers. That they were sexually abused and being pushed into. You'd be surprised what some parents do to their own children. Deceitful. There was a sermon I was listening to from, oh my God, how could I forget this pastor's name? Apostle Jennings. And he was talking about a situation that he had to deal with as a pastor. One of his members in the church that had a real serious situation going on in her own personal life where the husband was using the Bible deceitful and doing things to her daughter, his own child. And he used the scripture of when Lot's daughters felt they wasn't going to find any other men after God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, and they had to come out and go live up in some mountain somewhere and away from all the other things that was going on around them in the world. And they had got their father drunk and had intercourse with their father. And the daughters, because they didn't feel they wasn't going to have no man in their life, and they wasn't going to ever see a man again because of what was going on. So they went and they used their own father, got him drunk, just so that they can have sex with him and have a baby, so that their bloodline can continue to go on. You'd be surprised at things people would use, deceitful things people would do. out of their ignorance. And this father was raping his own daughter. The daughter was, and then on top of that, had the child when she got pregnant, abort the babies. And he kept, and then that's deep. So you be surprised what the Mendez brothers are saying. Because seeing incidents like this go on with Carmelo, I mean, not Carmelo, God bless his soul, bless his family right now, watch over them, because I know he got a situation going on this month, a hearing and everything for his trial to go forward, something like that. But I'm praying everything works out for Carmelo. And I seen one of the Patrick, whatever, something. He sits in, he's a senator, or he's some kind of person that sits in Congress, and he was part of the system of Carmelo's case. He been on social media boldly talking about it. I thought somebody should have, done something by now to him for that. You can't be including yourself in a high profile case and something like that is going on with in the Lord, and you jump ahead of the Lord, you jump on the side with already the victim side, but that's not always the way you're supposed to be thinking. And you running and sitting in a seat as a lawmaker in Congress. So that means that whatever happened with Carmelo getting a 35-year sentence, it was something that you pushed ahead, and those good old boys on that team with you that was in that courthouse, that was sitting, Jake Lang, all of those people. I don't feel no way sorry for Jake Lang, and I really, those Muslims, when they get a hold of him, oh yeah, they gonna get him. Oh, you better believe it, and they gonna get some of the ones who sit around and defend Jake Lang too. They gonna get him. Okay, so I'm not worried about y'all, because y'all be doing so much evil trying to cover up y'all wickedness that y'all go around hurting other people's lives, but y'all can't take it when it comes to you. The truth come to you. You can't take it. You want to continue to deflect. And you want to protect and say, oh, we don't do black people this. No, 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 no. We never had no power in this country. We always try to do what's right by the law. We always try to follow the law right, do right. Y'all dump immigrants in our community. They hostile towards us, and they harming us and doing things and killing us. But it's always black people black people always complaining. We not always complaining. We don't complain unless we have something to complain about. And black people are tired of it. But I'm one of those who's holding on to my faith and in prayer. All the wicked, harmful, evil things that white folks done to black people, there should be no excuse for you to defend that. None. What's happening to Nolan, what happened to Nolan, there should be no excuse. Another young lady, black young girl, was just, some white girls took her for some sleepover, whatever, and the child almost ended up being unalive. They got those girls in custody. That's why we not really talking about it, because that they took them girls into custody for what they did. What we complaining about, we have every right to complain about. What is people talking about? And there's a lot of white people that feel that way. They feel that white people can't. It should not only just America don't give a shit. All over the world we being attacked. All over the world for what? For being black. For being black. God already. That's why I say we got to be the most closest people to Christ. We definitely the most close. We the God's chosen people on this earth, because people come at us all the time for nothing, for just to come at us because we black. And they can't stand to see us happy and being joyful and in high spirit, the high spirited people we are. Jealousy. We the most closest people to Christ. We are his people. Whether they want to believe it or not, we are his people. Well, you know what? You white people been shanking, killing, castrating, and all kinds of pregnant black women when they were pregnant in those slave days. You go back and do some history story. You listen to some story. They will rip the baby out the woman's stomach and everything in front of all the slaves just to give them some. This is a way to put a fear in other black women if they would be whatever disobedient, or they get out of line with the monster. Monster do all these wicked, evil, barbaric, animal things to another human being's flesh. You like carnivores. You like flesh. You like black flesh. You like to go around killing black people. You get your thrill. Yeah, say that when a white boy end up in a unalived in a boat. Okay, and you say that shit when it comes a white boy who becomes unalive, a bunch of black boys in a boat, and his ass show up dead. Okay, and all of them come out alive. He drowned. Get out of here with that bullshit. They killed that boy. They murdered that boy, and they're gonna still continue to try to cover it up, and they're gonna continue to try to justify their actions. I don't give a Lord, don't get me cussing right here this morning. That's why I said I don't like to talk about these things because I get very emotional. I get very emotional. You know, I try to stay away from those. I try to stay away, but this got to be. It has to be told. But like I said about the Menendez brothers, they was sexually abused by their father, and nobody would have believed them because their father was a powerful person who had money. Okay, their father had money. He was into the what you call it, entertainment, music. I mean, movie, Hollywood, whatever. That's what their father was. And I wouldn't, and I don't believe that. You know, Those are the things that happen. Let me get out of this chat. Okay, I cut the chat off because there's too much ignorance going on, and I don't have a mod out here for me. So anyway, like I said and everything, you don't have to stay here on my channel and listen to it. Okay, if it's haunting your spirit. And like I said, those Menendez brothers is living proof that the parents that cover up and do evil things to their kids, or they cover up crimes for their children, they're going to end up getting the same or even worse done to them by their own children. And it has happened. Your enemy is always nearby. Always remember that. So let's go and show you what happened with that woman. I told you, I said we could Google it about that mother. She covered up for that damn son. And this was a black family. Okay, this was a black. See, I try to use fair judgment. It's not a racist thing with me. It's just that it's the truth. It's real how white people have been, not all. I'm not going to I'm not going to group all white people into that because there's some white people who lost their lives too in Mississippi burning a Jewish, I think he was a Jewish guy. It was a white girl. She gave a black guy a ride from a school, I mean, some kind of thing. And the next thing you know, these police officers or whatever, the Klansmen showed up. And of course, they killed her in the car. He didn't die though. The black dude didn't die. He played like he was dead in the car, and he got out. But she died. Go watch the movie Mississippi Burning. I give it's close to the detail. And then the NW the lawyer, the civil rights attorney at that time was Medgar Evers, and he was found mysteriously killed in front of his home, in front of and assassinated in front of his family and everything. He was died right in front of. Redo your American history. I have every right to think the way I feel, whether you want to believe it or not. Nolan did not drown on his own, fully dressed. He gonna go in the pool, fully dressed with shorts on Horns Island, and drown in the lake. And they found him fully dressed. Who gonna believe that? Y'all white people just find anything to justify your evil. And God going to deal with you because your enemy is close by. Your own kids going to turn on you. Your own kids, they're going to kill you. They're going to do something. There's so many, it already happened. This white dude, he took out his whole goddamn family. I mean, a black man do it too. When you're wicked, that wicked spirit can follow you anywhere. It could fall on you whenever you do something harmful to somebody else. God gonna allow it to happen to you. This happened 2 days ago. Look at this. Look at all of this. I'm gonna show you. Son accused of bludgeoning his 61-year-old mother to death. This just happened in July 29th of 2026. A man is in custody after deputies say he brutally murdered his own mother. This was in Wisconsin. And his son accused of stabbing, killing. Look at all of these killings that these kids are killing their own parents. They killing their own parents because let me tell you, your parents covered up all your evil for you. And you don't appreciate that. You wanted to go to jail. You wanted to get that stuff that evil dealt with earlier in your life so it wouldn't have followed you all the way to the ending, to your older years. See, when you don't deal with it when it's at a young age and you don't correct that behavior, it grows. You spoil it as well, you spoil the child, and your children gonna kill you. The way y'all feel about Nolan, all of y'all in my chat saying the evil, wicked things y'all saying out of y'all mouth about me, there, your kids are coming for you. So you better get ready for it. Okay? Since you want to feel that he drowned, you gonna believe that story, and you know it was a white supremacist. Them white boys killed that boy. You know they did. Ain't nothing gonna tell me anything differently until somebody brought into custody. They did it. They did it, and they parents know it. And they gonna try to use everything in their power and their money to try to cover up their evil. But God gonna bring his wrath on these wicked white folks. Because it's been going on too long. America is still young, 250 years. It's time to get that stuff out of you. Or you gonna burn in hell. Burn in hell. Because right now, y'all shouldn't even be bothering black people. If anything, y'all should be even more kinder to us because those Arab Muslims and shit is coming for your ass. And you gonna need us to help you fight. Instead, you keep killing us off, right? Like that's gonna do something good for you. Those Muslims are coming for you. They don't want to fuck with black people because we ain't do nothing to them. I just don't follow their religion. They want y'all. Now y'all all paranoid, scared, and scattered. Okay? They don't want us. They don't want us. They want y'all. They want to end y'all motherfuckers. They want to put white people out of power. That's what they want. They know we ain't got no power and nothing going to affect us anyway because we so goddamn used to the bullshit. But we so goddamn used to it. But they want these motherfucking white boys. They want. That's who they want. They want to. They want to. They want to destroy white supremacy. That's who they want. They want you white boys. Y'all been in power too long and getting away with doing wrong too long. And there's some white people right there on their side with them. Bernie Sanders. He's up there cheering them on. There's some white people that want them to come here and do some damage to some of these so-called powerful white elites. That's who they want. That's why they came with the ICC. But see, that wouldn't be right, would it? Black people are still holding y'all up, praying for y'all. And y'all still don't want to turn in y'all wicked children. Y'all still want to be wicked. The longer y'all be wicked, God brought those doggone Islamic culture here. They gonna get somebody. You better believe it. They don't want no black people. They don't want to harm black people. They want to come for you white folks. That's who they want to harm. Because we ain't had nothing to do with none of the killing in Palestine, Palestine, or whatever the hell that place is. Never been there in my life. Black people don't even go there. Okay? Really. If anybody they want to harm, they want to come after you white boys. They want to teach y'all a goddamn lesson. And for all we know, God could be sending them just to do that. Sending them here just to do that. So y'all could stop killing us and harming his people. God would send them here to destroy y'all. Because y'all use selective justice. That's what, believe it or not, that's what they're saying. But that's why I say, pass me by. You know? While all others that were calling, do not pass me by. Savior, Savior, hear my humble cry. While all others that are calling, do not pass me by. I'm glad I know my church hymns. I may not sing it well, but I know those songs on my heart. Oh, yeah, they mean something. Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God is gonna trouble the water. Okay? They don't know that. They only know how to say God when they want to do harm to people. Okay? But God is not that kind of God. The God they calling on is coming for them right now. Islam. That's they God. Because the God of the Bible, that is not they God. Because they've been doing this wicked, evil, burning crosses, killing black people, going in black churches, killing, taking out black lives, and nobody, and what's his name, Roof, that Roof kid, Violent Roof, whatever the fuck his name was, that young boy, they went in there and shot, and they trained their kids to be killers. And that's why they gonna get just what they gonna get from them damn Islamic people. But they gonna leave us alone. Okay, y'all want to kill somebody, those are the people y'all need to be fighting with, not us. We've been on your side. We've been here protecting you. Okay, but no more. No more. So with that being said, I got to get out of here and take care of things, clean out the kitty litty box, and get breakfast started in the house. I ain't even start cooking breakfast and none of that because I gotta, we going out tonight to to the festival because it's all week and it ends on Sunday. So we want to have some more fun with it. So with that being said, God bless you. You all have a blessed and wonderful Saturday. And until then, be safe. Peace.